My name is Stephen Chikumba. I am a member of the DAS Foundation, an organization to which Carlos Salazar belonged, and that is how I came to know your brother, your father, your spouse, your friend, your classmate, your relative. I met Carlos at our second dad's retreat where we bonded over our shared love of pictures, of all things social media, of being outdoors. And I didn't know at the time that this would be someone that I would come to love so dearly. But as I look at all of you, I recognize that that's something that Carlos did. He connected with people that he met in a minute, and you became a lifelong friend. Many of you do not know me. You've probably never seen me before, but know that Carlos is someone that I hold very dear to my heart. To the Salazar family, thank you so much. You raised a wonderful, wonderful young man. Everyone who's met him in my organization loves him dearly. I can't express to you how much he has meant to us in the short time that many of us have known him, and for the years that many of us have known him. He has become irreplaceable. I thank you for opening this service not only to me, but to all of us, for the fathers that are here, as well as ones that could not attend that are joining us remotely. It means everything to be able to share once more in his laughter, in his smile, in that infectious energy, in his kindness, the way he remembered anything you said and could make you feel instantly comfortable around him. I'm holding him in my heart in the way I'm sure many of you are holding him in your hearts today. And I'll never forget the way he touched my life and all of our lives. Before we begin, we're going to take a moment to listen to a song that had special meaning for him and for, I'm sure, many of us. I Never Thought You'd Leave. I Never Thought You'd Leave in Summer by Stevie Wonder. I invite you to close your eyes, take a moment and reflect on the words of this song. Just breathe. Let it take you where it takes you. Be present with the moment of Carlos and the way he touched all of us. Thank you.
Dreamed you'd leave in summer. I thought you would go, then come back home. I thought the cold would leave by summer. But my quiet nights will be spent alone. You said there would be warm love in springtime. That is when you started to be cold. Dreamed you'd leave in summer. said then you'd be the life in autumn. Said you'd be the one to see the way. No, I never dreamed you'd leave in summer, but now I found my
Born on March 30th, 1981, to Juanita and Dario Salazar, Carlos grew up alongside his older brother Gabriel, older sister Joanna. They often talked about how vocal he was as a baby, a voice he used to make people feel seen, valued, and welcomed, a gift that would shape every chapter of his life. Carlos graduated from Springbrook High School before continuing his education at Montgomery College and later earning his project management professional certification. Carlos believed that learning was a lifelong pursuit and approached every opportunity with curiosity, determination, and a desire to make a meaningful difference. Carlos was a champion for his children. His daughter Cassandra, his son Jaden, are the treasured blessings of his union with Erica. All of the roles he held, being a family man, was the most important to Carlos. He was the changer of diapers, master of game nights, healer of cold and coughs, honorary flag football coach, and fantasy football commissioner. Carlos led his family around the streets of New York, on college campus tours, and through the seas of people at music festivals. The relationship he had with Erica maintained was one for the books. Their 16-year marriage turned friendship fostered the perfect environment for co-parenting their kids. Throughout his career, Carlos found purpose in serving others, whether at Dave & Buster's, Boy Scouts of America, immigrant rights organizations, the Human Rights Campaign, or most recently, WSSC. His work was never simply a job. It was an extension of who he was. He built communities, connected people, and consistently asked how he could make life better for someone else. His leadership came from not seeking recognition, but from earning trust through compassion, empathy, and action. Outside of his profession, Carlos poured his heart into advocating for families and LGBTQ plus youth through the Dad's Foundation. He believed that every child deserved to be loved, accepted, and celebrated for who exactly they were. Those who knew Carlos will remember that he found extraordinary joy in ordinary moments. He loved spending time outdoors, pausing to admire the sky, caring for his plants, and surrounding himself with his beloved dogs. His creativity seemed endless. He was a freestyle rapper who founded the group Ultra Culture. Had to get that in there, yeah? And most recently, created a branding company. Carlos could make people laugh in an instant. He was a talented writer, an imaginative dungeon master, whose stories brought friends together, and also a devoted fantasy football commissioner and the friend who always had the perfect meme ready to brighten someone's day. Yes. Oh my God, yes. He carried himself with unmistakable style while never taking himself too seriously. Carlos possessed a rare combination of confidence and humility. He was deeply self-reflective, always striving to become a better version of himself. He met people where they were, choosing understanding over judgment and authenticity over appearances. His empathy allowed him to connect across differences, while his adaptability and natural leadership inspired those around him to become their best selves. Carlos, my dear friend, leaves behind a legacy measured not by titles or achievements, but by the countless lives he touched. He taught others that kindness is strength, that showing up for people matters, and that love is best expressed through action. His presence made the world feel warmer, more welcoming, and more hopeful. Through his passing leaves an immeasurable void. His spirit lives on in his children, his family, his friends, and every person who continues to choose compassion because they experienced it through him. Callers, Javier Salazar will be deeply missed, forever loved, and never forgotten. Rest in peace, friend.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ayana Castro, and I'm representing WSSC Water. And I am presenting a proclamation from the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland. Whereas Carlos J. Salazar was a dedicated public servant, community advocate, colleague, mentor, and friend whose impact extended far beyond his professional responsibilities. As a member of the WSSC Water family, Carlos was deeply committed to serving the communities of Montgomery and Prince George's counties and to strengthening the experiences of the people around him. And whereas Carlos was also a founding member of the WSSC Water's Hydro Squad, an employee-led engagement team whose North Star is protecting the employee experience. He embodied that mission. Carlos brought compassion, humor, energy, and an unwavering willingness to show up for others. To many of us, he was much more than a colleague. He was family. And whereas his commitment to service extended well beyond the workplace, Carlos was a board member of the Dads Foundation, an organization born from the dads, an Emmy-winning documentary short highlighting fathers supporting and advocating for their transgender children. And whereas his experience included nonprofit leadership, youth engagement, digital transformation at the Dads Foundation, the Human Rights Campaign, and the Scouts of America, Carlos was known nationally for multicultural communications and outreach. His involvement reflected who Carlos was at his core. A man who believed in family, acceptance, advocacy, and standing beside people when it mattered the most. Now therefore be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland hereby commemorates the life and honors the enduring legacy of Carlos J. Salazar for his dedicated service to WSSC Water, his steadfast advocacy for acceptance and inclusion, and his lasting contributions to the colleagues, families, and communities of whose lives he's touched.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Can everybody hear me? My name is Doyle Song. Carlos's friend since 6th grade at Francis Scott Key Middle School. I can even tell you the first time I've seen Carlos. We had homeroom together. We had homeroom together until we were seniors in high school. Carlos had on a Florida Marlins jersey, and I wondered from across the room, who is the 16-year-old in 6th grade with a full-blown beard? And then I found out later that would be one of my best friends. Through middle school, we bonded over getting in trouble, in-school suspension, being wildly in trouble all the time. We got a little bit under grasp as we got into high school. Carlos and I kind of weren't that close from freshman year to maybe junior year, but senior year, we were thick as thieves. I got a car, he wanted to ride, and we just went everywhere, you know? I remember one of the first times I got my license and took Carlos out. We went to our friend's house in Gaithersburg, and we stayed there entirely too late. And I looked at Carlos, and I said, "We're not getting home tonight, Carlos. We're going to sleep in the car." He said, "My mom's going to kill me." And I said, "Better that than something else." So I dropped Carlos off at about 4 in the morning. I got to my house, and lo and behold, my mother was waiting there for me. And she let me know that Mrs. Salazar had called her and let her know a few things. But I think Carlos, later on, I went back to the Salazar's house because I was there every day. And then Mrs. Salazar realized that I chose to sleep instead of getting home. And she was like, "I guess that's okay, Doyle." All right? Later on, we got out of high school. Carlos met Erica. I found out at that moment that Carlos was not a fighter and he was a lover. At every moment of his life, he loved, as everyone knows, you know, just like his dad, just like his mom, you know. It was a great time. I mean, I saw their relationship blossom. I saw, you know, everything come in, children come, all that stuff. One thing there's a story I'd like to tell people. In 2007, I went to federal prison for trying to make some money, apparently. And then it was a little deeper than that. You know, well, it's okay. All right? But Carlos actually had got scheduled to have a wedding during that time to get married to Erica while I was in federal prison. Not that I expected them to wait for me, of course not. But Carlos, out of his love for me, he asked my younger brother to stand in my place. It really showed his character and who he was. I also would like to tell you that me and Carlos didn't have a perfect relationship all the time. We were hard on each other. We were like cats and dogs. Carlos would do something wrong, I'd come down on him like the law. You know, I really wanted him to do better. I will tell you that at that time I was being very immature and not looking at his total situation. Because to be honest with you, Carlos lived the opposite life that I did. When I turned into an adult, I became even more of a child and I ran in the street. Carlos had kids, he had a life, he had responsibilities. And a lot of times, I never knew what the pressure was that he was facing. I always wanted him to toughen up and be a certain kind of way. And a lot of times, I felt terrible about it. But I will tell you, no matter what kind of problems me and Carlos ever had, we always became friends in the end. We were like magnets, you know? You throw one across the room, you throw another across the room, eventually we find each other. And we're thick as thieves. Later on in life, you know, Carlos and I, we found success in corporate America. Who would think that a failed drug dealer and a not that good rapper would be so great at corporate America? You know? Oh my God, you know? What were we thinking? You know? But it shows the talent of who Carlos was, you know? I will say, the day before I found out about what happened to Carlos, I talked to him on Instagram. He walked by what seemed to be a dune buggy, and I told him, "You better wear a helmet." And then later on in the day, he just reached out and he told me, "I love you." And I reached back out to him and I told him, "I love you too," and that was the last time we spoke to each other. So, in all that time, I've never had a friend like Carlos. I'm truly grateful for my experience with him. He accepted me in a time where many people wouldn't. Carlos brought me to his house and made me a part of his family. That is not, as you get older, you realize that is not a common thing to have the love that he showed me. So as I've gone through life, I found God and I found being legitimate was cool. And, you know, I just hope these things, and I leave this Bible verse. It is Numbers 6:24 through 26. May the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face to you and give you peace. I know all of you know what Carlos meant to me, because that's what he meant to you all. And I've been really sad, and I tried to write this, but I couldn't, so I just got up here and told a bunch of jokes. But from my heart, thank you, Salazar family, for Carlos.
You were a part of our
Yes,
You are a part of our family.
yes. I love you all dearly for everything. All right? Thank you.
I don't know why I had to go after you, Doyle. Y'all hear me? I'm telling you. I knew you always had the jokes, Doyle, but goddamn, man. I apologize because this is I had to write some things down at the last second, and I've been putting it off for 3 weeks. I don't really have jokes to tell right now, but I'm gonna just read this. I hope you all feel it. And I basically just sat down and wrote my thoughts, and I'm talking to him, and I've been talking to him every day since this happened. It's been 3 weeks since you left. You left us. 3 weeks since that unbelievable tragedy robbed you of the back 9 of your life's journey. I'm not going to recount the event now, but you know it replays in my mind countless times every day. First thing upon waking, last thing before falling asleep, I keep asking why. Millions of what ifs and if onlys, but God has no answers for me. Why you? How'd the current pull you out so fast? Why weren't you somewhere I could reach you? You had so much more to do. You started so many beautiful things left unfinished. We were supposed to grow old, sit in rocking chairs, share stories about our marriages, love lives, our kids and family, and still reminisce about the old days, the old neighborhood, Jacqueline Court, the habitual freestyle ciphers. You asking me to hit the beat anytime, anywhere, anytime. Slap boxing, fist fights, pick up street ball, 90s era rap beefs. The infamous McDonald's fight, where you and Buck ran across the highway to reach me already waiting in the getaway car, engine running. Where's Bakari at?
Right there.
You remember that, my brother? tackle football with no pads on, king of the hill, bikes and boards, backwoods and Philly blunts, sitting in your folks' kitchen while your mom made us hot dogs and rice. Or when your sister Joanna took us into gang territory in D.C. back around 94, sat us on the corner of 11th and M, bought us 40s and a blunt and said she'd be right back. We thought we were so tough, so gangster. But I was really just following your lead. Because you know I always looked up to you, my brother. When I lacked the self-confidence back then, you always had my back and stood up for me. You had a profound influence on my life, on the person I've become. And I was honored when years ago, and well into our 30s, you told me that you also looked up to me. And for reasons that I think reflect how we both share the desire to love and be loved by our significant others, to be a positive force in the world, to work in careers and spaces that value diversity and difference, collaborative efforts for justice and healing, and a more humane society. That old tough guy exterior we were raised on gave way to a new version of you that was just starting to truly blossom. The love you have for your kids inspired you to adapt, support unconditionally, and take risks that many would simply choose not to do. It takes a lot of bravery and courage. I'm so proud of you, my brother. I wish we could have had that deeper conversation we talked about having recently. You were supposed to speak in my classes this fall semester to further the alignment of our various educational social justice efforts. We were supposed to start our fitness training again. We were supposed to make more music, ultra culture forever. Yes. We were supposed to go back to the Billy Goat Trail at Great Falls, where we've hiked countless times over the years. Remember a decade or so ago when we were hardcore gym rats together, and we talked about getting back on that. Well, now I'm doing it in your honor. Every week, I'm holding space for you, Los. Space for others to join, share, and commune in your memory too, every week, for the rest of my life. Not a day will pass that I don't think about you. Sometimes I've wondered how you would have felt looking down in those final moments as I tried to give you CPR, pressing my lips against yours to seal the airway as I watched your chest rise and fall. Like, damn, bro, that's really love, I feel like you would have said with a laugh. I really did that shit. Without hesitation. And if you'd survived, if those 911 as a joke-ass EMS had any ethics and done their job with haste, used the defibrillator. Imagine how we would have told that story. This can't be the right timeline. This can't be life. All of us will miss him, but many of us here will never be the same. Never be the same. I didn't fully understand the depths of grief felt by people who've lost loved ones before all this. I've lost people. I've lost both my grandparents, several other family members before, but the abrupt, unexpected, violent, heartbreaking finality of your death has forced me to rethink a lot of things we all take for granted. Life is so precarious and so precious. I'm trying to be better about reaching out, telling people I love them. And y'all better do that right now, every day. I keep talking to you, and I'm going to just keep on believing you hear me. That you're watching over me, over all your family, friends, and loved ones. I love you, my brother. And even though it wasn't our favorite track on that album, I know some people here will know and sing it with me when I say, I see you at the crossroads, so you won't be lonely. I see you at the crossroads, so you won't be lonely. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Hello, everyone. I'm Erica. Carlos's children's mother, and so much more, but I'm gonna keep it at that for now. I first met Carlos online through Black Planet. You know, the personal profile site for Black folks. In 2021, he sent me a simple message saying, "Small world." You know, because he liked to be mysterious like that. Turns out he knew my cousin Ashley from Senior Beach Week 2 years prior. We had grown up in the same area of Montgomery County, but had never met. I had just moved to New York for school, and he moved to North Carolina shortly after to live with his older brother. After we realized we had a deep connection, full of laughter, he took the 11-hour bus ride to meet me in person for the first time. The next 4 years were extremely exciting, but also very difficult. We were so young, and his favorite Tio Chichi passed away. If you've had the opportunity to be his friend, you'd understand that magnetic feeling pulling you towards him. At the start of my senior year, we found out we were pregnant with Cassie. Some of you know her as Camden, but she's Cassie now. That coveted first grandchild on either side of the family. With the support of family and friends along the way, we made it through the storm and got married in 2009, 2008, I don't know. Where we celebrated with so many of you. Everywhere we went out in public, it seems like he knew someone there. They would dap each other up, spend a few minutes catching up. With him, anything seemed possible, and the world really did feel small. JJ, Jaden, some of you know as Jada, was born in 2010. We were each other's rock when we found out that he would need open heart surgery at just 4 days old. We created a home filled with music, movies, art, parties, games, love, and silliness, which over many, many years turned into hard conversations, hurt feelings, and a diagnosis we didn't know we were fighting against. After many years of back and forth, trying to put the pieces back together and hold them tight, we rearranged them into a beautiful new puzzle of friendship. Even though our 4-year separation was finalized in 2024, we hung out as a family and alone as close friends. We celebrated holidays and birthdays together. But most importantly, our friendship allowed us to co-parent in a way most divorced couples only dream of. These kids are provided for by the village we created through family and friends. And I wholeheartedly believe that Carlos is leaving behind an umbrella of love, protection, and support through the relationships that he fostered throughout his life. He was put on this earth to give love. It was bursting at the seams. He lived passionately, actively, and his huge heart led him straight home into God's arms. So I'm choosing to imagine that he just sat down at a dining room table with his favorite Tio Chichi. His cousin Lorena walks up behind him and grabs his neck. Tia Doris is in the kitchen making him a plate of food. Our dogs, Sony and Mango, are under the table just waiting to sucker him into some table scraps. Tia Peppo just excused herself from the table to puff a smoke outside. She passes my grandmother, who has just entered through the front door with a bottle of liquor. Because they are about to have a long overdue update on life. Please hold on to these stories that are resurfacing now, that he's not here to tell them. One day you may have the opportunity to share them personally with his children, or feel free to write them down and share them as they come to you. I love you, Carlos.
Hey everyone, or as Los would say, what's up, bodies? First, I would like to say thank you on behalf of the Salazar family, my mother, my father, my brother, for being here today to celebrate the life of my little brother, Carlos. For those who don't know me, which I don't know who that would be, but I'm Carlos's younger sister. And for those who do know me, you know that like Los, I could talk all day. I'll try to keep this brief, and I will also try to get through this without crying. But if you know me, you know that's probably not going to be possible. Standing up here today to say see you later to my baby brother is the single most gut-wrenching thing that I have ever had to do. But honestly, if Los were here, he'd probably be standing in the back of the room making faces at me so that I would mess up my lines. He was a jokester through and through. He believed that life was too short to be taken seriously, and he used humor as his superpower to bring people together, ease tension, and put a smile on everyone's face. But Carlos wasn't just the funniest guy in the room. He also had the biggest heart. Carlos wore his heart on his sleeve, And there was never a day that went by that he didn't tell me how much he loved me. He poured so much love into everything that he did. As the father of two beautiful children, he poured his energy into lifting them up and helping them feel supported in every way. During this process, he met the members of the Dad's Foundation, who, in all honesty, brought my brother back to life. They helped him in ways that I can't even begin to imagine, all while making him a movie star. What I admire most about Carlos was that he didn't just talk about making the world a better place. He rolled up his sleeves and he did the work. He was always the one who made sure that everyone felt heard and valued along the way. He taught our family and everyone who knew him that true service comes from a place of love and laughter. Los, you left us with so many unforgettable memories and punchlines that we will be repeating for decades. Gabe and I had a little brother for 45 years. Los was our best friend, our best crime partner, our little lab rat, and a walking diary full of our secrets and stories. We will love you forever, Los. We miss you immensely, and we will do our best to keep your spirit alive by working hard for our community, laughing every chance we get, and telling the people that we love how much we love them regularly. I'll miss your smile the most, Chauncey. Rest easy, little brother. You will forever be a unicorn with a clean-ass shape-up. Thank you.
Is Al really here? Al?
Is Al not here? Okay, well then I guess
We're gonna play this video.
Oh, okay. Oh. That is Los.
Cheers. 2025.
Para arriba,
Para arriba.
para abajo,
Para abajo.
para el centro, para adentro, para adentro, para adentro. Let's go.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, and I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord, can you feel it coming in the air tonight? Oh Lord. Oh Lord,
Anybody like to say a quick closing prayer? It's not, if, oh. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ayana.
So in the black church, they say, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And because I know God the way I do, and I know Carlos did too, I'm going to just ask you to bow your heads in prayer. Father God, we just come to you just to say thank you. We thank you for this gathering of family, for friends, for coworkers, for colleagues, for those who loved him the way you created him. We might have met him at different points of his journey, but God, you knew him before the earth was even formed. You knew exactly who he would become, who he would touch, the lives that he would impact, the people that would love him, and he would love them. And you knew exactly what you were doing when you created him. There was no mistake in him. He was perfect in everything that you created. He provided a light that came through you. You gave him that light, and he took it in every single room that he walked in. He used it in every time he spoke to someone. He used it every time he had to use some harsh words sometimes just to make people understand, I'm doing this with love. You gave him a heart of a giant. There was nothing that he was not willing to do for the people that he loved. Thank you for sending him to us. Thank you for sharing him with us. And while our hearts might be broken because he is no longer with us, Lord, we know that he would not want us to allow his story and his legacy to end here. We know that we are all an extension of his legacy. So God, we ask that you continue to give us the strength to get through our mourning, because yes, tears will come. But we ask you to give us the strength to continue his story, to continue his legacy, to continue to support his family, his children, to continue to support the foundation that he loved so very much, and to give back to the communities that benefited from not just who he was, but how he was. Lord, we thank you. We ask you to continue to bless the Salazar family. We ask that we bless everyone here underneath the sound of my voice as they return to their homes. And we ask that we continue to keep Carlos's memory in our hearts forever. Amen.
So over here in this left corner, there are memory cards. There's a memory table. There's some pens. If everybody just wants to write a quick little memory of Loki, for us to, for Cassie and JJ and Gabe and I and my parents and Erica, for us to look over and laugh at later.
And in doing so, this beautiful service, for everyone to have the chance to speak to the family, maybe they'll stay up here near the front, and then that way people can have a chance to kind of progress by and see this beautiful altar to Carlos and his life as you are proceeding out in service. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sweating, boy. Thank